For the better part of a decade, the Charlotte Hornets have been the NBA's punching bag. They've been a team that nobody has taken seriously due to poor management and unlucky circumstances. But over the past few months, that narrative has completely flipped on its head. Since January 3rd, the Charlotte Hornets are 20-8. That's equivalent to a 59 win pace over the course of an entire season. And this isn't just some random hot streak either. Since January 3rd, the Hornets are number 1 in offensive rating, number 6 in defensive rating, number 1 in net rating, and they've been the best 3-point shooting team since the new year started. That's not what a team that's getting lucky plays like. That's what a good team looking to contend plays like. So what actually changed with this team? And more importantly, is this style of play sustainable for them? Well, the biggest surprise for them is that during this stretch, their best player hasn't even been LaMelo Ball, and he's not really even that close either. It's easily been Brandon Miller. Since the new year, Brandon Miller is averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal a game, while shooting 45% from the field and over 40% from 3. But his numbers don't even tell the full story. What's different is his shot selection and his efficiency. He's not forcing tough mid-range looks anymore. He's attacking closeouts, getting to the rim more decisively, and taking threes within the flow of the offense. His catch and shoot numbers have exploded, and he's becoming a legit 3-level scorer. Brandon Miller is finally breaking out and becoming the star wing that Charlotte knew he could be. He's been way more consistent on both ends of the floor, and that's made all the difference for this Hornets team. Now next up, I need to talk about Kon Knueppel. He's been having such a good rookie season so far, and he's making a legitimate case for Rookie of the Year. So far this season, he's averaging 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, while shooting 49% from the field and 44% from 3. Even for the best shooters in the entire NBA, this level of efficiency is so hard to maintain, especially with Kon being a rookie and the volume that he's shooting at. He's already broken the rookie record for total threes made in a season, and he still has plenty of time to extend that record. But what makes him really special with this team is how he's fitting in. Since his first game with the Hornets, it was clear that he was the type of player that Charlotte has been desperately needing. He moves great off the ball, and his gravity helps open up the floor for the rest of his team. He punishes poor defensive rotations, and he does it all without hindering or slowing down the offense. That's why Charlotte's offensive rating has been so good in the new year. Even if he likely won't win Rookie of the Year because of Cooper Flag, that doesn't change the fact that Kon Knueppel looks like a long-term star. And there's a real argument to be made that eventually he can become Charlotte's go-to scorer over Brandon Miller. Now, I want to look at LaMelo Ball now, because the interesting part with him is that during this stretch, I would say he's only been their 3rd best player. Since January, LaMelo Ball is averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, while shooting 39% from the field and 36% from 3. Now, on first glance, when you look at his efficiency, you might think that that's going to be a pretty big issue for Charlotte. But it won't be, because for the first time in a couple of years, LaMelo Ball has been healthy. LaMelo hasn't been healthy for a couple seasons, and if you remember the last season he was healthy, which was a 21-22 season, Charlotte made the play-in. But after that, they've been riddled with injuries, whether it be from LaMelo or Brandon Miller, and the rotation hasn't been stable. But this season has been different. Charlotte has finally built a coherent roster, and even when LaMelo isn't scoring the ball efficiently, his playmaking is still a major issue for defenses to figure out. He still pushes the pace, and he still forces rotations. He creates great looks for his team, so even when he's not scoring the ball, you know other guys are. And that's been the biggest difference for the Charlotte team. LaMelo doesn't have to carry the scoring load anymore. He's putting his playmaking on full display, and I think this is the best version of LaMelo that we're going to be seeing. Now, it hasn't just been their top 3 players doing all the work. Guys like Miles Bridges have been playing very consistent. Colin Sexton has been a great spark plug type of player for them to throw in. And Kobe White was a pretty good addition they made at the trade deadline, adding another guy who can stretch the floor and create his own shot. There's so many guys that I have not mentioned who are still playing very, very good for Charlotte, which makes Charlotte one of the deeper teams in the Eastern Conference. But now here's the big question. Is this just a lucky stretch for Charlotte? Or are they actually a good team now? When you look at all the indicators, I believe this run that the Hornets are having is not a fluke. Sure, their efficiency might dip a little bit, and overall as a team, they might play a little bit worse. But even if that does happen, they will still easily be a playoff caliber team. And for the first time in nearly a decade, I think Charlotte will be making the playoffs, not just, a play-in exit. For years, the Hornets were a team that nobody really took seriously, but now they're showing the rest of the league that they are here for years to come. Now that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe, as it helps me out a ton. And be sure to check out my video where I broke down why I think the Spurs will win the 2026 NBA Championship. If you made it this far into the video, I truly appreciate you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.